Welcome to my political show, Kavindu Political Times. Before start the show, I want to hit the like button and subscribe to my show. Now let's get started, shall we? Now, of course, today we're going to talk about important things about the US, an ugly confession of truth, and that has to be said. So now let's get started. So let's start with the good news first. Today in the US, the Senate has managed to advance the $1.3 trillion infrastructure bill. It met the required 60 votes to go through the procedure called the filibuster. So, Senator Mitch McConnell also supported the bill, at least in the filibuster stage, to go through as we are speaking. So, the $1.3 trillion bill will go through. And plus, in the same time, the Democrats also claim that they will be able to get the 3.4 or more infrastructure bill that they want to put themselves through the budget committee. So that bill will also go through. This could be a big moment for the American people. We might have new infrastructure for the very, very first time since Eisenhower, really. So that's something a big moment to talk about. Now let's talk about the key inclusions. Now in the Democrats' budget committee bill, which will go to the bill which go to the budget committee, that bill will include investments for roads, for infrastructure like roads and the electric grid, and also on charging points, the electric power stations where you can charge your electric vehicles, things like that. So that's why that particular amount of money is essential for the infrastructure, and also allows us to focus and to transform the economy into a green economy. And that's essential. That is the $3 trillion or more budget one which will do that job. Far as the 1.3 infrastructure trillion dollar, $1.3 trillion bill, well, that bill will focus more on the normal traditional infrastructure like roads and bridges and like internet, like Wi-Fi for rural areas, things like that. So that's what that bill will do. In short, the two bills will pass through in similar timelines. One bill through the Senate through a bipartisan vote. One bill, that's the bill, and the other vote will go through the Democrat-controlled budget committee. So that's pretty good. So that's a dual power play by the Democrats at the moment. So that's pretty smart. And Chuck Schumer was very determined that he wants both the bills go through to make sure the Biden agenda does go through. Now, of course, there are more things to talk about within the Senate. Of course, the voting rights bill will also most likely go through, as the Democrats are now working together at the moment to find a way to make the voting rights bill to go through the Senate as well. Because the ultimate right for a human being is to vote and choose your leader of your choice. The Republicans are trying to take that away from you. That's the reality up front. And don't let the Republicans take that from you. I urge all Democrats to vote, come out and vote in the millions, in the thousands, in the billions, in the upcoming election and the midterms. No matter how hard the rules are, how hard the repression done by the Republicans. Let's fight against the Republicans who are trying to destroy the democracy. Now, from that, of course, you might say, where can I go? Now, well, of course, let's talk about, what about else? Let's talk about the general fact. Vaccine situation. Now, United States has, as a problem that's unique to the United States, actually, anti-vaccine, people who don't like vaccines. It's a problem because many countries around the world do want vaccines. They are begging for vaccines. In fact, the UN is actually have a program for vaccines, countries who don't have vaccines right now. But the people in the US, some people, they are not using the vaccines when they can. And that kind of shows you that the stupidity of the people. But it's not their own fault. It's misinformation through the internet. Many people, especially the older people, tend to look at the internet and look at misinformation, and they don't get vaccinated. And let me clarify something about vaccinations and vaccines. If you get vaccinated, the chance of dying is significantly less, and plus, it saves you from getting COVID-19 if you get the vaccine. But these people just don't want to do it. For them, it's wrong. There are chips in the vaccines to detect to control you by Bill Gates, blah blah. I mean, such stupid conspiracy theorists. Such stupid conspiracy theory. Why would Bill Gates want to control the people of the United States when he can't even control himself at the moment, for Pete's sake? Look, these American people are misguided. But it's okay. It happens. No matter the unvaccinated or whatever, everyone must be treated equally. So the government is now in incentives to make these people get vaccinated. For a while there was lotteries, $100,000, $1,000,000 rewards doing. I mean, this is insane. Just to get a person to vaccinate themselves. I mean, seriously, $1,000,000 lotteries. Now they are giving $100 benefits. $100 if you get vaccinated. I guess you could have been really rich if you got vaccinated in the US by now, if you think about it. So overall, the vaccination numbers have once again improved a little bit because of the dues, because of the benefits that they have given. But how much more benefits is that we have to give to people to vaccinate? I mean, at the moment of time, if you think about this, people should vaccinate themselves. It keeps them safe. It allows you to go on your normal life without getting you into trouble. Because of the unvaccinated, the pandemic has forced the people who are vaccinated to mask up again. That's the sad part of this. And that's the reality. If you think about this. Is this a problem unique to the United States? Actually, yes. Because the American people has a very complex situation in here. You got the minorities like the African Americans do not trust vaccines because they were once victims of experimentation because of racism. Things like that. But this is my message. Those times are now gone. Please get vaccinated. Please be safe. And please get your normal lives. Because without all of you going to your normal lives, the country cannot recover economically or socially. That is my recommendation for the people who are refusing to take the vaccine. And now for the last topic today. The embarrassing truth about something that I should have talked about a long time ago. Many countries are actually laughing at the US right now. You might think, at what? Well, it's about the entire policies towards the environment and the pandemic. I mean, things like that. It's not the handling on the pandemic, it's the anti-vaccines. It's the people who anti-vaccine, the people who do not support climate change. Now, this is the difference. You will have people who oppose the systems to prevent climate change, but not an entire party to claim that climate change is not real. Okay? That's completely bullshit. And as a political commentator who look at the US as a role model, I would say it's a shameful moment. And the Republican Party is clearly, as you know, are anti-climate change people. They believe climate change does not exist. Again, that's a stupid thing to say. It's like when you're bleeding, you are saying that I'm not bleeding. Well, you are bleeding. That's exactly the point. The Republicans might be the only party in the world at the moment to oppose us climate change, saying it doesn't exist. Now, person myself, I believe in climate change, but I don't believe in the things we are doing right now is the right thing to do to prevent climate change. I believe there are more things we can do. But that doesn't mean I oppose climate change. That's the point. That's what we have to understand. That's a fact here. But people like the lying Ted, Jeb, like low energy Jeb, people like them are truly oppose climate change. I mean, you think about this, it's funny. They are rejecting the fact it exists. If you want to go evidence, see the South and the North Pole, see the ice sheets, see those things. It's okay to admit that the things we are doing, or electric cars, might not be the most sustainable thing we are doing. But it's one thing to say it does not exist. That's my point. So on that note, I'm going to end the video. Thank you. I'm going to end my show. So thank you very much for joining me on the show. Hit the like button and subscribe to my show. Thank you very much.